They have been a symbol of passion and desire since ancient times. But what is it really about oysters that could influence our love life and vitality? Is it possible that a simple mollusk has the power not only to delight our palate, but also to enhance our sexual health? If you've ever felt low on energy, lacked motivation, or noticed a decrease in your libido, perhaps what you need isn't in a pill, but in the ocean. Oysters are not only delicious, but they are loaded with zinc, an essential mineral that plays a crucial role in hormonal health, especially in the production of testosterone. In a world where stress and diet often interfere with our hormonal health, understanding how nutrients affect our body could be key to regaining balance and improving our quality of life. So, could oysters be the natural answer to problems like erectile dysfunction and low libido? Stay until the end, because we are going to give you a couple of specific recipes so that eating oysters becomes extremely easy for you. Real-world data. Oysters are one of the foods richest in zinc. This mineral is vital not only for reproductive and sexual health, but also for immunity, protein synthesis, and cellular repair. The human body cannot store zinc, so it is essential to obtain an adequate amount daily through the diet. Zinc directly influences the production of testosterone, a hormone closely linked to male sexual desire and function. It has been proven that men with adequate levels of zinc have better testosterone production. In fact, a study published in the Journal of Human Reproductive Sciences found that zinc supplementation improves testosterone levels in men deficient in this mineral. Likewise, testosterone not only influences libido, but also plays a crucial role in the quality of erections and overall sexual health. The zinc content in oysters varies depending on the type and where they are grown, but on average, 6 oysters provide about 32 mg of zinc, which far exceeds the recommended daily intake for adults, which is 11 mg for men, and 8 mg for women according to the U.S. National Institute of Health. It is important to understand the detailed mechanisms that link the consumption of this mineral with endocrine and reproductive function. Zinc is an essential mineral that acts at several levels in the body, and its role is especially crucial in the endocrine system, where it directly influences testosterone production and hormonal regulation. Absorption and transport of zinc. When you consume oysters, the zinc they contain is absorbed primarily in the duodenum and jejunum of the small intestine. This process is mediated by specific metal transporters, which facilitate the passage of zinc from the intestine into the bloodstream. Once in the blood, zinc binds to proteins such as albumin and metallothionein to be transported to different organs and tissues. This transport is essential to deliver zinc to the endocrine glands, including the testes, where testosterone synthesis takes place. Influence of zinc on testosterone synthesis. In the testicles, zinc plays a crucial role in the activity of the aromatase enzyme, responsible for the conversion of testosterone into estrogen. By acting as an inhibitor of this enzyme, zinc helps maintain higher testosterone levels. This is vital because an estrogen-dominant hormonal imbalance can lead to problems such as decreased libido and fertility problems in men. Additionally, zinc is a cofactor in more than 300 enzymes, including those involved in hormone synthesis and metabolism. Its presence is crucial in the reaction that converts cholesterol into testosterone in the Leydig cells of the testicles. Zinc deficiency can lead to a significant decrease in testosterone production, which directly affects sexual function and libido. Effects of zinc at the cellular and systemic level. Zinc also plays an antioxidant role, protecting testicular cells from damage caused by free radicals. This protective effect is crucial to maintain the integrity and functionality of the cells that produce testosterone. Once testosterone is released into the bloodstream, it has multiple effects on the body. Not only does it increase libido and improve the quality of erections, but it also affects muscle mass, fat distribution, and mood. Testosterone facilitates the dilation of blood vessels, improving blood flow, which is essential for erectile function. Practical recommendations. Given the significant impact of zinc on sexual and reproductive health, consuming oysters regularly may be an effective strategy to improve these aspects. In addition to oysters, other sources of zinc include meat, legumes, and nuts, offering several options for maintaining adequate intake of this essential mineral. According to the U.S. National Institutes of Health, NIH, the recommended daily allowance for zinc varies depending on age, sex, and other factors such as pregnancy or breastfeeding. For adult men, the recommended daily intake is 11 mg of zinc, while for adult women it is 8 mg. These recommendations ensure the proper functioning of the immune system, protein synthesis, and DNA production, in addition to supporting reproductive and sexual health. Zinc content in oysters. Oysters vary in their zinc content depending on their type, and the environment in which they were grown or caught. However, in general, oysters are exceptionally rich in zinc. A study published in the Journal of Food Composition and Analysis reported that on average, a medium oyster can contain between 5 to 7 mg of zinc. This means that consuming just 2 oysters could provide the recommended daily amount of zinc for an adult. Recommended consumption of oysters. To meet the recommended daily intake of zinc, consuming 2 to 3 medium oysters per day would be sufficient for most adults. This not only meets your daily zinc needs, but also offers other essential nutrients such as selenium, iron, and vitamins, B12 and D. Vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is crucial for several bodily functions, including cellular metabolism, red blood cell formation, and DNA synthesis. It is also essential for the proper functioning of the nervous system. A vitamin B12 deficiency can lead to megaloblastic anemia, fatigue, weakness, constipation, loss of appetite, and weight loss, as well as neurological problems such as numbness and tingling in the hands and feet. Vitamin B12 is especially important in restrictive diets such as vegetarian or vegan, where natural sources of this vitamin are limited. Oysters provide a significant amount of vitamin B12, making it easier to reach the recommended daily intake. Iron. Iron is an essential component of hemoglobin, the protein in red blood cells that transports oxygen from the lungs to the body's tissues. Iron is also vital for growth, development, normal cellular function, and the synthesis of some hormones. An iron deficiency can cause anemia, characterized by fatigue, pale skin, and difficulty breathing during exercise. Oysters contain heme iron, which is the most bioavailable form of iron and easily absorbed by the body, making them an excellent choice for improving iron levels. Vitamin D. Vitamin D is unique because the body can produce it when the skin is exposed to sunlight. However, it can also be obtained through certain foods, such as oysters. Vitamin D is essential for bone health as it helps the body absorb calcium. Additionally, it plays an important role in the immune system, muscle health, and mood regulation. Vitamin D deficiencies have been linked to bone diseases, such as rickets in children and osteoporosis in adults, as well as an increased risk of infections and chronic conditions such as depression. Combined impact on health. The combination of these nutrients in oysters makes them a superfood, especially useful for those looking to maintain a balanced diet and improve their overall health. The zinc, vitamin B12, iron, and vitamin D content in oysters ensures a positive impact on sexual health, energy production, immune function, and bone health. Before we dive into the delicious world of oyster recipes, it is crucial to discuss some important risks and considerations to ensure their consumption is safe and beneficial. Oysters are an exceptionally nutritious food, but as with any marine product, there are aspects we must take into account. Risk of bacterial contamination. Oysters are commonly consumed raw, which increases the risk of exposure to pathogens that can cause foodborne illness. Bacteria such as Vibrio vulnificus, Salmonella, and E. coli can be present in raw oysters, especially if they come from contaminated waters. Vibrio vulnificus infection is particularly concerning as it can be serious and even fatal, especially in people with weakened immune systems, liver disease, or diabetes. Shellfish allergies. Oysters are shellfish, and shellfish allergies are relatively common. Allergic reactions can range from mild, such as hives or rashes, to severe, such as anaphylaxis. If you have a history of shellfish allergies, it is best to avoid oysters completely to prevent adverse reactions. Accumulation of heavy metals and toxins. Oysters can accumulate toxins and heavy metals from the marine environment, such as mercury, lead, and cadmium. These substances can be harmful to human health if consumed in large quantities. While oysters do not typically contain as high levels of heavy metals as other fish, it is important to consume them in moderation and make sure they come from reliable sources and clean waters. Nutritional considerations. While oysters are rich in zinc, vitamin B12, iron, and vitamin D, they are also high in sodium and cholesterol. For people with specific health conditions such as high blood pressure or heart disease, it may be necessary to moderate oyster consumption to avoid exceeding daily recommendations for sodium and cholesterol. Sustainability and origin. The cultivation and harvesting of oysters must be done sustainably to avoid the deterioration of marine ecosystems. Opting for oysters from sustainable organic farms can help protect the environment and ensure product quality. Check the certifications and origin of the oysters to ensure you are making ethical and sustainable choices. How to safely handle and prepare oysters. If you decide to enjoy raw oysters, it is essential to handle and prepare them correctly to minimize the risks of illness. Only buy fresh oysters from trusted sources, preferably with safe food handling certification. Keep oysters refrigerated until ready to eat. Discard any oysters that are open or have broken shells before preparation. Wash the oysters under cold water before opening them, making sure to remove any debris or dirt from the shell. Use gloves or a cloth to hold the oyster while you open it with a special oyster knife, thus avoiding cuts. By following these recommendations, you can enjoy oysters not only as a delicious delicacy, but also as a safe and healthy part of your diet. Now that you know the risks and how to manage them, it's time to explore some delicious recipes. 1. Steamed oysters with ginger and chives. Ingredients: 12 fresh oysters, 2 tablespoons fresh ginger grated, 2 tablespoons fresh chives finely chopped, 2 tablespoons low-sodium soy sauce, 1 tablespoon sesame oil. Instructions: wash the oysters well under cold water and open them, discarding the top part of the shell. Place the oysters on the bottom of the shell in a steamer. Mix the grated ginger, chives, soy sauce, and sesame oil. Pour a small amount over each oyster. Place the steamer over a pot of boiling water and cover. Steam for 4 to 6 minutes, or until oysters are completely cooked. Serve immediately, garnished with more chives if desired. 2. Grilled oysters with herb butter. Ingredients: 12 fresh oysters, 4 tablespoons unsalted butter melted, 1 clove garlic finely chopped, 1 tablespoon fresh parsley chopped, 1 tablespoon lemon juice, salt and pepper to taste. Instructions: preheat grill to medium-high heat. In a small bowl, mix the melted butter with the garlic, parsley, lemon juice, salt and pepper. Wash and open the oysters, leaving them on the bottom of the shell. Place a teaspoon of herb butter on top of each oyster. Place the oysters on the grill and cook for about 5 minutes, until the oysters are cooked and the butter is bubbling. Serve hot with lemon wedges. 3. Baked oysters with Parmesan and breadcrumb topping. Ingredients: 12 fresh oysters, 1/2 cup breadcrumbs, 1 to 4 cup Parmesan cheese grated, 1 tablespoon dried oregano, 2 tablespoons olive oil. Instructions: preheat the oven to 220° 425° F. Open the oysters and place them in their shell on a baking sheet. In a bowl, mix the breadcrumbs, Parmesan, oregano, and olive oil. Mix well until combined. Sprinkle each oyster with a generous amount of the breadcrumb mixture. Bake in the preheated oven for 10 minutes or until the topping is golden and crisp. Serve hot, garnished with a little fresh parsley if desired. Enjoying raw oysters is a delicious way to savor their natural, fresh-from-the-sea flavor. To ensure safe consumption, it is vital to select high-quality oysters from reliable sources and keep them refrigerated until ready to serve. Here are 3 recipes to enjoy raw oysters with a touch of creativity and flavor. 1. Raw oysters with shallot vinaigrette. Ingredients: 12 fresh oysters, 2 shallots finely chopped, 3 tablespoons red wine vinegar, 1 tablespoon extra virgin olive oil, freshly ground black pepper, a few sprigs of fresh parsley chopped. Instructions: in a small bowl, mix the chopped shallots with the red wine vinegar and olive oil. Add pepper to taste. Open the oysters carefully, making sure to keep the natural liquid inside the shell. Place the oysters in an ice tray to keep them cold. Just before serving, spoon a small amount of the vinaigrette over each oyster. Garnish with chopped parsley and serve immediately. 2. Raw oysters with cucumber and ginger. Ingredients: 12 fresh oysters, 1 small cucumber, peeled and cut into small cubes, 1 tablespoon grated fresh ginger, juice of 1 lime, fresh coriander leaves to decorate. Instructions: in a small bowl, combine the diced cucumber, grated ginger, and lime juice. Open the oysters, making sure not to spill any liquid from the shell. Place the oysters in an ice tray to keep them fresh. Spread the cucumber-ginger mixture evenly over each oyster. Decorate each one with a cilantro leaf, and serve immediately to enjoy its freshness. 3. Raw oysters with green apple granita and wasabi. Ingredients: 12 fresh oysters, 2 green apples peeled and cut into cubes, 1 teaspoon wasabi powder, adjust to your preference, 1/2 cup of water, 1 spoon of sugar. Instructions: in a blender, mix the green apples, wasabi, water, and sugar until you obtain a homogeneous mixture. Pour the mixture into a tray and freeze until solid. Once frozen, scrape the mixture with a fork to create a granita. Open the oysters, keeping the liquid in the shell. Place the oysters over ice and just before serving, add a spoonful of granita over each oyster. Serve immediately, offering a burst of spicy sweet freshness that perfectly complements the softness of the oysters. Consuming raw oysters always carries some risk, as they may contain harmful bacteria and pathogens such as Vibrio vulnificus, norovirus, and hepatitis A, although there is no guaranteed method to completely eliminate all risks without cooking them. There are some practices that can significantly reduce the presence of bacteria. 1. Freezing. Freezing oysters is an effective method for killing some types of bacteria and parasites. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, recommends freezing oysters at 18 degrees or colder for at least 48 hours. This may be practical for home use and may help reduce the risk of certain infections, although it does not eliminate all viruses. 2. Soak in salt water. Some studies suggest that soaking oysters in salt water for several hours can help reduce bacterial load. This method involves submerging oysters in a saltwater solution that mimics the salinity of their natural environment. However, this method is not foolproof and its effectiveness may vary. 3. Treatment with ultraviolet radiation. Some commercial operations use ultraviolet UV light to treat oysters and other shellfish. UV light can be effective in deactivating bacteria and viruses. However, this technique is generally applied in an industrial setting and is not practical for home consumption. 4. Acetic acid, vinegar. Marinating oysters in vinegar or a solution that includes acetic acid can reduce the number of bacteria. Vinegar, especially when combined with lemon and other acids, can act as a mild bactericide. However, this method can change the texture and flavor of the oysters. 5. Ozonization. Ozone treatment is another method used commercially to reduce the bacterial load in oysters. Ozone is a powerful oxidant that can destroy bacteria and viruses. However, as with UV radiation, this method requires special equipment and is not feasible for home use. General safety tips. Purchase oysters from trusted sources that follow safe harvesting and handling practices. Keep oysters refrigerated at all times before consuming them. Discard any open or damaged oysters before opening them. Wash your hands and utensils carefully when handling raw oysters. Although these methods can help reduce the bacterial load, none guarantee complete elimination of all pathogens without cooking the oysters. The only way to be completely safe is to cook oysters, as heat effectively kills bacteria and viruses. If you decide to consume raw oysters, it is important to be aware of the risks, especially if you belong to a higher risk group, such as people with weakened immune systems, pregnant women, the elderly, and children.